From your statement, when you say Yako woke you up at 2 and you went to the scene just to look at the successes, that is highly improbable. You can't have woken up for something that mundane. What were you going to do with the successes? Nothing you could do. So it's not true that that's why you went there. What's your comment?
What did I say?
You say he woke you up at 2 to come to the scene and see the success of the truck. And I'm saying you could not conceivably have woken up at 2 in the morning when you are due for work the following day just to go see alleged success. You are not being truthful in that regard as to the reason why you went there. What's your response?
For the mere fact that I've said it's success, that means if it was an operation of EMPD, we're going to celebrate and take the success. But as I've said before to the commissioners, that it was not an EMPD success. That's why it's not even booked in our successes.
But you've already accepted when I engaged you earlier that EMPD was part of the operation.
I agree.
So it was their operation.
Commissioner,
They may, on what you say, not have been leading the operation, but you have accepted that they were part of the operation.
there I accept.
Now, can you respond to the question with that in your mind?
Thank you, Chair.
They may be part of the operation, but it was not an EMPD operation.
Thank you.
Stoltz says in his statement that Yako told him that he had already called their commander, Stoltz's commander, and that he has already called Mackenzie, who is EMPD as well. So the commander is EMPD. So we know that Stoltz and Etienne, no, and Mackenzie rather, Stoltz, Mackenzie are on the scene.
Yes.
We know that according to Stoltz, the commander has been called, whether it's Schultz or it's you, but the commander has been called.
Yes.
You also get called, right, by Yako. You say, you get called to the scene. And when Yako calls you to the scene, he says, come see our success. Surely that's an EMPD operation. It is an EMPD operation. And Fritz also tells us that they were called to come and provide backup to EMPD. And when he proposed to call the LCRC, he was told that this was an EMPD operation.
Commissioner?
It is an EMPD operation.
I don't want to agree, Commissioner. I don't want to agree.
Well, according to you,
I'm not protecting anyone, but because everyone in this, his statement says, all of us were called by Yako.
yes,
Everyone.
And Yako called
SAPS,
you to say,
EMPD.
Yako said, come and see our success.
In
And
the,
Yako is your informant, and he has called you to many incidents where, or many scenes where it became, or gave you information where it became an EMPD operation. And here he says, come see our success. It is an EMPD operation. Look at the people who are there.
And when I started, Commissioner, when I was asked about Yako, I've mentioned that Yako works with everyone.
Yes, even with
Local, national, provincial, he works with everyone, and we call everyone.
Now, even with that, I've pointed to you, look who is at the scene of this operation, that you know. EMPD people that are at the scene. You got there, you found EMPD vehicles. You've got people there. Stoltz tells IPID that Yako told him, I've already phoned your commander. That must tell you, just the fact of calling the commander in itself must tell you that according to Yako, this was an EMPD operation.
According to me, Commissioner, with due respect, it was not an EMPD operation.
Why? Because Stoltz told you. Is that why you say it was not an EMPD operation? Is it because Stoltz said to you on Tuesday that, oh, that was not our operation?
No, Yako told me that he called everyone when I called him on Tuesday.
He may have
and
called
on
everyone.
Sorry, Commissioner.
Sorry, finish. I'm sorry. You can finish what you were saying.
And say on that night when I arrived, there was everyone. So I called everyone. Yako confirmed that he called everyone. You see, I'm not sure why is it Mr. is reducing it to EMPD, you see, distancing themselves, because everyone was there. You see, and I'm not sure why are we reducing it to EMPD. I'm not convinced, commissioners.
Well,
Yes.
I am saying it's an EMPD operation because Yako called the commander, the boss of the people who end up at the scene, of your EMPD people that end up on the scene, whoever it is, whether it is Mkhwanazi or it's Schultz. Yako called that commander. We know Yako called you. So even if it was Schultz, Yako called Schultz, called you, called Stoltz, called Mackenzie. So there's 4 people or 5 people from your EMPD. And in your call, he says to you, come see our success.
Now, Commissioner, I think you're not fair. You're not being fair.
It's not about being fair. It's about what do the facts tell you. Let's look at who is there. And let's look at these statements, who is saying what. Fritz says, he said, should I call LCRC? And EMPD said no.
Freaks from where?
Well, you've just read Fritz's statement.
SAPS.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
I think that's why I think he was aware about what was happening. That's why everyone is reducing it to EMPD. There I won't accept it because I was not called when the operation started. During the operation, I was called in the early hours
Yes.
of the next day.
Whatever time he called you, there's no significance to me, at least, about the time, Commissioner. You wake up at 2 in the morning to go to an operation. That's what you did. You woke up at 2 in the morning, so you understood that you are being called because of your EMPD position. Not come just see what's happening. You get called, you jump out of bed because Yako says it's our operation. How can you argue with Yako when Yako says, come see our success, and then you've got all these members of the EMPD who are on the scene?
May I respond, Commissioner?
Yes, you may.
Yako called me 2 a.m. in the morning, but Yako called Kesha and tells Kesha day before that he has called, of which I'm saying I was not called before that. You see, that's why we can't take ownership of that. You see.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Commissioner, let us say there's an EMPD operation, out and out EMPD. Does it not happen that EMPD may call for backup from SAPS?
It does.
So the fact that SAPS has been called to give backup does not change the operation from being an EMPD operation to a SAPS operation?
You are correct, Commissioner.